Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. Leslie didn't know that I was going.
Nope, but that's cool.
I was. This is episode 510. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. It is Monday, the 30th of November.
I know that because I got paid today.
Ah, that's right.
I get paid on the last day of the month.
The last working day of the month, right?
Yes. So, like, next month I'll get paid on the 19th, which makes January go
a lean month.
Long. It is the longest month ever, always. It's not like I don't know that it's coming.
Yeah.
But, you know, Christmas purchases and such, holiday purchases. Anyway. Did you want to hear all about my budgeting?
I mean, I'm always impressed by people who actually budget and stick to a budget. I'm terrible at that.
That is an impressive skill. I agree. Especially when you go to like a yarn festival and people are like, this is my budget. I'm not going over that. Those people always impress me.
Like I can do it for a single day or something, but to maintain it for every facet of my life, I don't have that kind of willpower. But
anyway.
Yeah.
What are you working on? Or do you want me to go first?
I can go. I mean, right now I'm just unpicking some elastic from a, well, technically it's a work in progress. My younger sister, who is 36, she has an ostomy bag, an ileostomy, and I told her I'd make her some covers for it. She's made a couple, but she doesn't really sew, so it's sort of cobbled together. So I told her I would make some, but I haven't found a good pattern for one online, and I think part of that is because the stoma bags that people use are different. You know, different manufacturers make the shape slightly different, and where you wear it on your body also affects the shape. So I haven't really found a good pattern, so I'm sort of making one up as I go. And one that I made up, this is where the appliance goes on the body. I put elastic in it and hoping it would help, and it made it way too big, so I have to take it off. And then I made another one that
I love that fabric choice.
Mostly came out okay, except I wanted to put buttonholes on the side here because the way that she wears hers, she's got this sort of elastic belt thing that clips to the sides to help support the weight. And so I was just going to put like buttonholes so that it could go through there, but I didn't think about doing that before I assembled it. And so I'm having to sort of try to do it, you know, around the construction, and it's not working great. So that's okay. I can just rip the seam out and do it. But yeah, so that's a couple things that I'm working on. What else am I working on? Okay, so the only thing I'm actively working on right now is I'm putting some heels and toes in socks from Two Sisters. That's the yarn company. Two Sisters, and it's a Gothic rainbow is the colorway. This is what I've got left of the ball. This is sock number 1, which I finished earlier today.
Oh, look at you. Leslie and I did some Patreon events this weekend, so she's working on these a little bit during them. So
yeah, so I put in a regular heel. I folded the top of the cuff over and tacked it down for a folded hem, and then I put in an afterthought heel. And then this is sock number 2, and I've got the toe and the cuff done, and I just separated for the heel. I just cut the yarn. I haven't even joined the yarn yet to start the heel, but that's what I'll be working on during this episode once I get done picking out the seam on this elastic. So
okay,
yeah, that's basically what I've been working on. Nothing super exciting. What about you?
I started a bankhead hat. So this is what it looks like. It's a lot of twisted ribbing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 3 inches of twisted ribbing. So I still have around a ½ inch to go. And I'm knitting this out of Plucky Knitter. I did a while back, like 4 or 5 years. They offered like some grab bags, like various bases, and you didn't get to pick. It was a grab bag, and so I was like, I'll try one of those.
I think
and
you got to pick the weight, but that was it.
Yeah, you didn't even get to pick the weight. It was just like random, completely. Mad Tosh, you got to pick the weight or the base, but this was like completely whatever they sent you. It was like 4 skeins.
Yeah, you were guaranteed a certain value, but it wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got a skein of Prima worsted, and this is in the Soda Fountain colorway. This is their superwash merino cashmere nylon base, but it's in a worsted weight. It's 200 yards. It's got a really nice twist to it. So it's really making those twisted stitches pop. And this is going to be a present for my uncle, who I've never knit for before. So that will be going to him.
This is Law Librarian Uncle in California, right?
Nope, it is not.
Oh, this is Mary and Bob.
Yep, this is Bob. So, so that's going to him. They live in Portland, Maine. So I think that cashmere, even though it's only 20%, will help keep him nice and warm. And then the other thing that I'm working on still, but I did get a couple rows in while I was sitting around waiting for a Target pickup, is my Knit Spin Farms little known holiday club colorway in the Tolkien Day. And these are being knit on size 1 needles. The hat was being knit on size 6. And both, actually, no. That's being knit on Addie, just regular turbos. This is being knit on the squared magic loop style. And I'm just going round and round and round. And this is the second one. And I think this is over 52 stitches. Yep, that's what I did. So just going around and round and round, getting a couple rounds done every, little bit while I'm sitting in my car waiting for stuff. So not a ton of progress there, but a smidge, a couple rounds.
Yeah,
so
it makes a difference.
Yeah, those are the 2 things that I worked on this week that I still have on the needles.
Cool. Well, I also have a bankhead hat.
Oh, that was unexpected, but you finished yours.
I did. So Laura and I skipped a week in recording for Thanksgiving. We don't often do it, but we needed it. So
plus we went on call last week, and it was just we needed to take some personal time to try to feel better because we both weren't feeling great and just chill.
So
thank you guys for vacation. Ooh, I love that.
So this is from another crafty girl. This was when she was doing her club.
Her Toys of Childhood club.
Thank you.
And now all those colorways are for sale in her shop.
Yes, I actually linked this on our show notes, which are found at TheKnitGirlls.com with 3 L's. This is called Pocket Sized World. It's after a Polly Pocket toy set, I guess. I never had Polly Pocket, so
they were my sister, which your younger sister. That was like the Polly Pocket.
Yeah, it missed me by a few years, but it was really nice.
Like the Rainbow Bright.
Yeah.
Bears, Strawberry Shortcake. Ooh, I never did Teddy or
Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch, yeah.
Yeah, Light Bright. Magna Doodle.
Popples.
Etch-a-Sketch. Yeah, I'm out.
Manachira.
No, I never got into superhero stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was probably the closest I ever got to superheroes.
Pound Puppies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Gummy Bears, jumping here and there and everywhere.
Oh, God, I don't know. Now that song's going to be in my head.
You're welcome, Fraggle Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the 80s. We can play this game all day.
We probably could. Laura would be better at it than me because she has a better memory. So
I
this
don't
is
remember.
Sandbank. I'm sorry, Bankhead.
Bankhead.
It's a free pattern on Ravelry. This is one that's going to my sister or her daughter, whoever wants it. So that's she does have 5 skeins of this for sale on her site right now, or she did when I linked the yarn. And then also, I've knit with this yarn before and I really liked it. So usually every time we see Elizabeth of Spotted Circus, I pick up a skein of this. And I actually have
She's
2
having
in this
a
color.
sale right now.
She is. And so this is Spotted Circus in the Silky Aran. So it is a silk, alpaca, and a little bit of wool. It's a chainette construction, and it's in the Acid Rain colorway. And this one is called Towards North.
Ooh,
So
I like that one.
do a little bit of twisted ribbing. You do this Vickel braid to sort of separate it. So it's the knit stitches sideways. And then this is a very easy slip stitch pattern.
That is gorgeous.
So it came out really well in this yarn. Very happy with how this came out.
Pattern?
Nope, it's a free pattern, Towards North.
Nice.
On Ravelry. And this one is for me because I don't trust this is not a superwash item, so this one is going to stay with me. Plus I like this yarn a lot. It's very warm for being a chainette yarn. It's very, because it's silk and alpaca primarily. It's only 4% wool, but I like the pops of color and how it came out.
So
I dig it.
Pretty.
And so again, this is Spotted Circus in her Silky Aran base.
I mean, you saw me lean in. I was like, ooh, what is that?
I have another skein of this yarn. Exactly this yarn. So, what else? Oh, I finished a pair of little tube socks. I put in heels and toes. This is Query Fiber in the Harvest Pumpkin, or no, Heirloom Pumpkin colorway. So I put
Leslie
in a toe.
And I were fighting over that colorway on the train to Scotland.
And this one had been done for a while, and I don't know what I did with the rest of this yarn, so I just picked a different one and put in a different heel. So my heels don't match, and I don't care. So these are just little shorty socks if I just want to sit and spin at the wheel.
Yeah.
I
like those too.
I need to weave in the heel. When I do afterthoughts, I always get the little gap.
Do you pick up more stitches?
No, because I don't like having to remember to reduce down. So I just sew it up when I go back with the end. I just sew it up. So there's that. Oh, one more thing. So this I've been working on. This is going to my nurse practitioner. This is the Celadon Shawl. It was in a 5-pack of mini skeins from Prabjust Fibers. And what else? Ladyman Fiber Arts. What was the colorway? Heathers.
Heathers. I was going to say it's those girls.
Yeah. So it's impossible to get it all in one picture or one frame, but it is very large and very long. And
very pretty.
I think she'll like it.
You did a lot of knitting. You finished a lot of stuff.
So I think I'm going to knit a hat out of the Heathers colorway because I've got enough left. So I think I'll knit a hat out of the Heathers colorway to go with it and then send it off before I forget. But yeah, that's what I got done this week. Well, the past couple weeks.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when we take a week off.
I know, it's invigorating.
Things happen. So I had to mail 2 things off, and Leslie, I just texted her pictures so she could put them in. The first is the tube socks out of Republic of Wool and the Peony Pop colorway. So through the magic of Leslie, that's going to appear right now.
The magic of Leslie.
The magic of Leslie, that should be the episode title. That was 48 stitches. I cast on 48 stitches. I knit the ribbing and I knit them on size zeros, and then I just knit a straight tube till it was 12 inches long, and then added some toes and went down to 12 inches before kitchenering. So basic tube sock. I also knit Alice a little no fun, like gnome fun, which is Imagine Landscapes pattern. Mm-hmm. And I knit it out of leftovers of Leading Men Fiber Arts. It's their worsted base that's not superwash. And it was leftovers from the stocking that I knit Amy Florence last year for Christmas.
Oh, cool.
And I knit that little gnome on size 4 needles. It was super fast. I just used DPNs actually and really, really enjoyed it. So I want to knit some more. One thing that I did do, she recommends that you put poly pellets in if you want to, or glass pellets or whatever, give it some weight to sit up. I could not find mine. I found them like 10 minutes after I mailed the package.
Of course.
Yeah. So I had a little cedar ball. So I put that in with the stuffing just to give it a little bit of weight.
Yeah,
so,
it'll smell nice too.
Yeah, I think so. So those two things are sent off because Alice's birthday is on Thursday.
Alice,
so she'll be 9.
Your goddaughter and niece.
Yep, 9. I can't believe that. Some other things that I finished that I can show you. There's 2 of them. Both are hats. Leslie and I have been in a hat knitting mood. Mm-hmm. This is a Helen Stewart pattern called the Tchaikovsky Hat.
Tchaikovsky.
The guy who did, or the person who wrote the Nutcracker Suite, I believe. And this is out of the Lemonade Shop, Comfy Worsted, which is really interesting. It's like a 2-ply maybe.
It's got a lot of nubby sort of texture. It's a really cool feeling base.
And it's a merino alpaca, I believe. It's 191 yards, 20% or 80% fine superwash merino, and then 20% baby alpaca. And this is the Zebra Tea Party colorway. And this is the adult small size hat. It does have, it's hard to see because it's so variegated, plus the nubby texture, but it's got pearl bumps every once in a while. So it's a nice, like, almost looks stockinette, but a little bit fancier type hat. So this is going to go to my cousin in Maine.
Is this Bob and Mary's son?
Daughter,
okay.
Yep. And so that's going to go to Anna.
Oh, the son is in Florida, right?
Yep. Okay. John's in Florida. You are correct. You know a lot about my family, friend.
I do.
Anna's actually working in Denver now, so I thought that would be...
Yeah.
It's thinking about getting old. Now my cousins are like out of college and working. I'm the oldest of any of the cousins by a lot. So it's now that they're all like 24, 25.
So you're more like an aunt than a cousin.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, there's a 15-year gap between me and some of my cousins. Some of them it's like 20, 25.
Wow.
Yeah. So this I actually knit in April. I did some secret test knitting that I never showed you guys about. And I'm about to set it up. So, and the book just came out. So I test knit for Joanna Johnson's Little Women's Knit Book. And this is the Telegrams from the Window color pattern, excuse me. And then the yarn, which I love, 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 is Fully Spun Original DK in the super green colorway. And it looks like hand spun.
Yeah, it does.
So it's super fun. This is actually going to Gwen, who, if you've ever been to SSK, Gwen is our minion that helps us run all the things. And sometimes she dresses up in a T-Rex outfit.
You would have seen her out of the corner of your eye blasting past you doing something.
She's amazing. And very high energy.
She's also brilliant, and she's a conservator at the Smithsonian Museum in DC.
Yeah, Museum of Art. So she wears a T-Rex outfit sometimes, and I was already going to give her this hat, and Shiny Wear Company. I follow them on Instagram. They do like knitting t-shirts and other accessories for knitters and crocheters and crafters. They posted these no-sew leather tags, and one of them was a little baby dinosaur. So I had to get that for Gwen's hat. So I just put that on, and this is going to get mailed out. So yeah.
It's very cute. She will love it.
I hope so. I hope so a lot. So those are the 4 things that I finished this week.
Both hella productive this week.
I know, right? Well, I didn't work last week, so that also helped. I should have been more productive, but I played a lot of Animal Crossing.
I mean, you got to do what makes you happy, and that's okay.
And I read a couple books, so that also made me happy. You have spinning. Do you want to talk about your spinning?
Well, I'll talk about it. So I do have some spinning. I had wound it off, and the more I looked at it, the more I realized I didn't like the twist on it. I wanted some more twist. So I ran it through the wheel, and it's still on the wheel. I have to wind it off. My Swift is over there.
I was going to say, you wound it off at my house.
I did.
So I knew you wound it off.
But then, the more I looked at it, the more I'm like, it's such a loose twist that I feel like the color is going to get lost. So I ran it back through again in the ply direction to tighten up the twist a little bit.
Are you happier now?
I'm much happier now. Yes. Good. So this is what it looks like. Let me move this. Sorry.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah. So this is what it looks like. This is 8 ounces of Warm Woolen Mittens 2, which is a combed top from Hip Strings. That I think I got at FSK a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly if it was 2019 or 2018. And you might notice it's on a very shiny red wheel. So this is the 3rd edition of the Starling. So I have the original purple Starling 1. These are wheels from Daedalus, Daedalus, which is the husband of Rebecca of Spotted U Fibers, EWE.
Mm-hmm.
And these are electric wheels. It's got a little starling on it. Thank you.
Oh, they're 3D printed.
They are 3D printed and carbon fiber, but they're ABS plastic, not the other one.
PLA?
Yeah. So they're not going to melt like, the less expensive plastic will. And most importantly, they're silent. For me, that's the most important because I've probably mentioned it before, but I have audio trigger issues. So certain noises and sounds, especially repetitive sounds above a certain decibel, just send me from 0 to homicide and like.
Leslie loves it when you eat crunchy cereal right by.
Yeah, if you have like wet, crunchy something and you're eating beside me, I will just leave. It's not an I don't like you thing. It's an I'm going to murder you if I don't get out of here thing. So a lot of wheels are too noisy. A lot of electric wheels are too noisy for me. And these are not. I love the Daedalus wheels for that. And the 3rd, I think, has a beefier motor.
Yep.
The start-stop pedal thing, the soft start. The soft start control is a little bit different. And I also got a battery that goes with this, which is wonderful. I've used it to spin 4 ounces and ply twice, and I haven't had to recharge it. I don't know how long.
Battery, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how long you can go on them or anything. But
I've spun 7 bobbins of singles, I think, before I had to charge. So quite a bit.
And you don't have to use a battery pack. You can also just plug it in. But, but it's red.
It's like a hot rod.
So I need to wind it off so I can get it measured. But it is 8 ounces total of hip strings. So yeah, I was plying it again this morning while I watched a documentary about the hospital that was built on Ellis Island for people coming in the early 1900s, and how it sort of became a political issue of immigrants. And it was very interesting. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime. But yeah, so that's my spinning. And I took another 4 ounces of fiber downstairs earlier so I could start working on
What
it
did you
later.
take down?
It's some red something I've had forever that Casey of Tangerine Designs, I don't even know if she's still Tangerine Designs.
She does a lot of pattern designing
Yeah,
now.
she does. She designs knitting patterns.
Yep.
But this was ages ago. I mean, probably 10 years ago that she gave me this fiber, and it's a red. It's a bright red. So I don't remember who the maker was, but you'll see it next week, hopefully.
Yay!
What about you? You've been spinning.
I have been spinning. So I have on my Starling, I have a version 2 Starling that lives right here where we record, and when I do Zoom meetings, it's what I spin on. So I started a loop bump. Loop does these center pull bumps. You can also pull from the outside, and they kind of gradient through. So this started with bright blue. That's my dog, sorry. Hey, stop. Went to a dark purple, then a reddish purple, and that bright pink. Hold on 1 second. We're retraining because mommy let some bad habits develop during quarantine when she was home all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes to bright pink. Well, we were together all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not pointing the finger. Trust me.
No, it's fine. We're just retraining. And then it goes to red and then black. So it's 4.3 ounce or 4.6 ounces. It's called Magic Trick. It's a Merino Angelina. So just have some sparkle in it. So that is around, I would say 3/4 of the way done. The other singles that I have on my wheel, I need to ply tonight for the nest thing.
I was going to say, I thought the end of the month was the deadline for that.
Yeah, that's tonight. So,
I know what you'll be doing when we're done.
I know. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to watch or listen to. So this is Nest Superwash Merino in the By the Seashore colorway. And this was also spun on the Starling during Zooms. And it's going to get plied tonight. The lure of the loop bat or bump just took over. And so that is what singles I'm working on or have done. I did finish 3 things. So the first is the last thing that you guys saw. This is Nerd Girl Yarns. It's 100% Jacob wool. It was top, and I got it because I had never really seen a dyed Jacob wool top before.
Yeah,
it's
actually,
in the.
I don't think I had either before you showed that.
And Jacob's not like the softest of sheep. Yeah. They're really cool. They've got black and white spots and lots of horns. They were actually bred to be like lawn ornaments for fancy people's houses in England. So, but their fleece is usable for hand spinners. It's really, really fun. And actually, when you card the black and white together, you get a fun gray. But sometimes the fiber, if you buy sometimes there is a great difference in softness between where the spots are and where they're not. Mm-hmm. So just some things to think about. Anyway, this colorway is We're All Mad Here. I got 260 yards of a 2-ply that was spun worsted on the Starling and then plied on my mini spinner. I still ply on my mini spinner. It's got a woolly winder. Mm-hmm. So I'm too lazy to stop and move hooks, y'all.
Well, plus you can really pack it on.
Yeah, that's true too. This is just 4 ounces, and it got a bath and soak. Um, and then this is so luxurious.
Ooh.
This is that Spotted You in what was it, Blue Eyed Starling, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
something Starling. And it was her gold Stellina merino, superfine merino, and like Erie silk base. It was 33% of each, and I got 475 yards of a 2-ply from 4 ounces. So it's got gorgeous shine and drape,
I can
and
see a
it's
little bit of
really,
sparkle
really
in it
pretty.
now.
There's a good bit of sparkle.
It was harder to
So,
see in the single, but once it's plied.
yeah, I would agree with that. So really, really fun. She just did Spotted You just did a fiber update too. She put up some really pretty stuff. And then the last thing was actually I spun the singles last month. This was that Mork made dirty chai latte
Oh
bat.
yeah.
Um, and it was an art yarny type bat, lots of silk and wool just kind of thrown out in there. And it is 245 yards of a 2-ply, also 4 ounces, 3 to 4 ounces. So it was like that bat set. So it's a fun Halloween. I started it for Halloween. So yeah, 3 finished braids. One spun super thin. The others, well, not really super thin, but fairly thin. And the other 2 are more like DK worsted. So I'll have my 4 ounces, or my 4 ounces, my pound done by the end of the month if I apply the other.
And you
So
have to ply the other tonight, so.
yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it won't take too long. Although superwash merino for me is fairly skinny. It can take like 3 to 4 hours to fly. So we'll see. If I don't get it done, I don't get it done. It's
Yeah,
fine.
not the end of
It
the
will be
world.
all right. Yep, exactly. So that is it for me for spinning. What have you been reading, friend?
Um, what have I been reading? So the Ordinary Magic series, which is by Devin Monk. I just finished book number 2 and started book number 3, which is Gods and Ends. This is sort of an adult male female kind of fantasy. Um, it is, I mean, it's good so far. It's an interesting premise, a strong female protagonist. Um, I dig it so far. Uh, but I'm also reading the Leveling Up series, which is by K.F. Breen, who's written a lot of things that I've read. The 3rd book in that series just came out. That's the magical midlife, whatever.
Yeah.
The third word always changes. I think the second, I'm rereading it. I'm on the second one, which is dating, I think. Magical midlife dating. So I'm rereading that before I read the new one that just came out. And that's also adult male female kind of romance, fantasy. It's gargoyles and witches and shifters. Um, so I'm reading that, and then I'm re-listening to the Threshold Universe series by Peter Clines. This is the series that this is science fiction, and it starts with 14, and the second book is The Fold. The third book is Dead Moon, which is the one I'm on now, which is probably my least favorite. I still like it, but it just doesn't grab me like the other ones do. And then the
Yeah.
fourth one is Terminus. So, and those are all
Hey,
sort of,
Neelix.
yeah, this is Neelix, sorry. They're all kind of, uh, they're science fiction, but they're the science in the science fiction in the story is based off of this Victorian scientist's sort of Lovecraftian beliefs. It's an interesting read. So I'm listening to them on Audible. because that's the way I listened. That's the way I think I read 14, but every other book I've just listened to. So that's what I'm listening to and reading. What about you?
I'm still listening to Wildfire by Alana Andrews, which is an adult male-female paranormal romance. I haven't really I listened like to 5 minutes this past week. I spent a lot of time reading and watching TV instead. Quality TV shows like The Masked Singer. But I also reread The Blacksmith Queen and the new book, The Princess Knight by G.A. Aiken. And it's actually one of the characters from her Dragon series just made an appearance.
Oh, really?
Well,
that's cool.
The Dragons just made an appearance at the end of this one with the Queen. So I love some good crossover series. It makes me happy. So I like her stuff. I also like her other pseudonym that she publishes under, Sherry Lawrenston. And these are all, or Shelley, yeah. These are all male, female,
fantasy.
like these ones are fantasy romance. The other ones, the Shelley ones, are like shifter romance, paranormal. But she just writes really funny characters.
Yeah, I love the Dragon series. The third one, I think, with the little tiny lady in the north, and
yes, and the blue hair one. That's my favorite.
Well, no, he's not the blue-haired one's the baby. You're the
super vain one.
What? The super vain one has golden hair. Yeah. He's the golden dragon.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. That's my favorite out of that series.
Yeah. I like the super vain one. He's also very funny, and she just puts him in his place.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's what I've been reading. We're still waiting on Instagram to release the hashtags for the rest of the Halloween Craft All the Things. Like, I just looked at it before we recorded, and now only 2 pictures are showing under the whole entire hashtag. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but as soon as it does, we will draw for the rest of the prizes. I need to give you the bag of prizes so you can mail them out. Have people been contacting you on your form?
It goes through the form, so.
Perfect. And that's about it. Anything else?
No, I hope to do some sewing. I'm off this week because I have to burn PTO or I lose it. So.
And you had to work all last week, so.
Yeah, I did. And there just hasn't been time for PTO with the year that we've had and all that. So, yeah, so I'm taking this week. I've got a couple patterns that I'm hoping to get sewn this week. And I'll talk more about them as I make progress on them. Hopefully I'll have at least one sewn thing to show you guys next week. But, yeah, that's about all I've got.
Okay. Well, we will say goodnight. Y'all have a good week. Be safe. And we will see you next time.
Yep.
Bye, y'all.